Hey everybody, I'm Nicole Ricci and I'm cruising out. So let me tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. The last couple of vlogs you saw was the time that I spent on the Admiralty. So you saw me come to Alaska. I did a week of training on land, and then I worked on a boat called the Admiralty Dream for 2 weeks, doing 2 different cruises between Sitka and Juneau and Sitka. And it's a boat very similar to the Baranof Dream, the boat that I was assigned to, but the Baranof Dream was under construction. So I haven't really explained too much details about that, but now that the Baranof Dream is up and running, I feel like I can talk a little bit about it. So basically, when I arrived in Alaska, in Sitka, back in April, I had anticipated working for a week in training and then getting on the Baranof Dream. But when I got here, the boat was completely gutted. There was no floor. There was really no walls. There was no seat structures. All of the rooms were dirty and full of random things. There was absolutely no kitchen. The crew quarters didn't have any flooring at all. I'm trying to think of all the other, all the electrical thing. The panels were not done. Did I say the kitchen? There was nothing in the kitchen. Anyways, it was kind of a disaster, and I thought, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? This boat doesn't look like it's going to be running all season long, and what am I going to do? So I was really frustrated. I was lucky to be put on the Admiralty boat for 2 weeks, and then I got back, basically kind of was not kicked off of that boat, but they're like, all right, you need to go help get the Baranof ready. And so I got off, and for I would say over a month, I was living in Sitka on this boat as it got ready. And so it was a crazy time. And this video kind of encompasses a lot of what that month looked like. And also during that time, I was able to work on a couple day boats. So I think 3 different days. I did full days on day boats, which was really cool. It was 2 tours that we picked off from larger cruise ships between 100 150 people, and we did whale watching tours with them around Sitka. So that was a cool opportunity to get out in the water when that's what I really wanted to be doing. But other than that, what I had been doing was studying. So I have another video where I talked to you about a book that I was reading about Alaska that I'll post. So I was studying about Alaska. I was helping get the boat ready, painting, cleaning, organizing everything we need on our end. I was creating presentations that I give to the guests, all sorts of things. And at the beginning, I was really frustrated. Truly, I was at a place where I really wanted to go home. This wasn't what I had signed up for. I was in a mental state where I didn't know what the future held. I didn't know if the boat was ever going to get ready. I didn't know what my place was, because for me, my role is guest focused, and I'm not able to do that when the guests weren't present. And yeah, I was just really not happy with where I was at. The biggest frustration I had was just that I didn't have control over the situation, because there was so much that needed to be done on the boat. So what ended up happening was 3 of our trips were canceled, 3 9-day trips, and then shortly before we were supposed to go out, 2 more trips were canceled. So it was over 5 weeks of this boat going out that was canceled. But anyhow, now I'm up on the water. So this was recorded a while back now, a couple weeks ago. So yeah, now I'm out on the water, which is great, and I'm loving what I'm doing. But this season that I'm showing you was really hard, but also really good. So looking back at it, I got to do a lot of cool things, which I'm about to show you. And I also got time to prepare, because I came here feeling underqualified for a guide role that I have. And I was able to study a lot about Alaska, study about marine mammals, study about the plants, study about Alaskan history, and live in the state of Alaska for 2 months. So therefore, just kind of getting used to the lifestyle here and learning more about Alaska. So let's get started on showing you exactly what I was working on the boat. So this is just the smallest little portion of work on the boat that I got. Here's my crew eating meals together. Sitka is beautiful, so it wasn't all that bad to live in Sitka for a couple months. It is a really small town. There's only 14 miles of main roads, and it's not connected to any other city, so I feel like I've seen it all. This was a little bit of training that we did during that first week. We did like flare training, fire training, how to put out a fire with a fire extinguisher, and also how to put out a fire with a hose. So there was a little bit of, that formal training that first week. But other than that, the couple months that I spent in Sitka was pretty much on my own. I was kind of able to create my own schedule and decide what tasks I wanted to work on and do fun things. Although I was working 7 days a week, I was able to, the days are long and it's not like I had too much of a social life, so one of the things I got to do was go to Fortress of the Bears. And Fortress of the Bears is a bear sanctuary, and it's in these big, I forgot what they were used to be used for, these big kind of like silos. And we saw brown and black bears, and these are bears that wouldn't survive in the wild. So they're like cubs that lost their mom or had some type of injury. So they bring them here and they try to treat them as normal as possible. So when they feed them, they kind of put salmon in the little ponds and have the bears hunt for the salmon and things like that.
In the morning you sing over me, and I receive your mercy. Your faithfulness is clear to see. It's constant every day. In the morning you sing over me. I receive your mercy. Your faithfulness is clear to see. It's like the sunrise, constant every day. Every breath I breathe an invitation to believe you are creating something good. Though this season doesn't tell my story, I know you'll move mountains for me. You're just that good, so I'll give thanks to God when I don't have enough, 'cause He's more than enough, and He knows what I need, so I'll give thanks to God.
Another cool place we got to go to was the Raptor Center. And I think I went here twice while I was in Sitka. And here I got to see a bunch of different types of owls. Here, this is the snowy owl. The Raptor Center, kind of like the Fortress of the Bears, is bringing in birds and trying to help them if they were injured or if they lost their parents. And here they're actually trying to train them and bring them back into the wild. So they have a training facility, but not all of them end up being able to be brought out to the wild, so then they just kind of raise them. But we saw eagles, owls, a bunch of other cool birds up close.
And He knows what I need, so I'll give thanks to God when I don't have enough, 'cause He's more than enough, and He knows what I need. Oh, He knows what I need, yeah. In the silence I choose to.
Hey vlog, I'm out here doing the Thimbleberry and Heart Lake Trail. Here is Thimbleberry Lake in mountains. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is a really nice, well-maintained trail. It's in Sitka, Alaska. Because I have this extra time on land, I'm able to really explore Sitka. So it was a beautiful day. I think like 60 degrees and sunny all day. I was working on paperwork and presentations and organization in the office all day today, but it's 5 p.m. and the sun doesn't set till 9. So baby, I got time to be hiking, be outside in this gorgeous, beautiful day. Wow.
Every breath I breathe an invitation to believe you are creating something good. Though this season doesn't tell my story,
lot of hiking while I was in Sitka, trying to do almost every trail they had. I also went to a lot of museums, probably every museum that there was in Sitka, along with the Castle Hill battlefield where the Russians and the Tlinkits fought for the territory. I also went to all the churches. So this is the Russian Orthodox Church, and the inside of the church with all of the different pictures. And this is another hike. So I hiked up Mount Verstovia, which is a 3,000-foot mountain right in Sitka. Snowy on top, beautiful views. I did this, I think, 3 different times. The first time on my own, the second time with a couple of friends, and the third time, I think, with a couple more friends. Or maybe even on my own, I forget. But each time was fantastic, amazing views. I love hiking. I love hiking up mountains, and to get this high up and see kind of out into the open Pacific Ocean was amazing. So I was doing the Mount Verstovia hiking trail, which Mount Verstovia is right here, which is at 3,300 feet. I'm on Picnic Rock right now, 2,500 feet. This will be the end of my hike. And look at these views. Wow. I've been hiking through snow like the last half mile, and that would be straight snow just to shoot up right there. I have great views here. This is crazy. I'm above the cloud line. I can see the ocean a little bit through the clouds. There's Mount Edgecombe right there. Wow, that's a volcano, by the way. And this is Mount Verstovia, which I believe is a couple hundred feet taller than that. So here we are. Wow.
He knows, he knows, he knows.
This is crazy. I just slid down from the top. There's so much snow. I'm slipping, I'm sliding. I just sat on my coat and slid right down.
What I need, come on.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Wow. So I actually just got stuck twice. One way worse than the other. The snow is really deep. I have my jacket because it's all wet and snowy. Anyways, down to my knee, my foot sunk in, and I couldn't get it out. I could not pull it out. It was super crazy. Anyways, now it looks like I'm gonna freaking fall in again. I'm trying to go heel first so I could pick my foot back out, because I was like digging it out, spending like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm literally stuck, because this ice, is pretty solid, especially lower in the ground, knee deep. Anyways, crazy. I think I'm almost out of the ice.
Don't have enough, 'cause he's more than enough. And he knows what I need. I'll give thanks to God when I don't have enough, 'cause he's more than enough. And he knows what I need.
Another thing that we did a lot of was bonfires. So the crew and I had bonfires a couple times a week. This is a compilation of photos and videos from maybe like 5 different fires. There goes Andreas. But beautiful spot. We went to the same spot every time, right on the water, and kind of just hung out, talked. I taught them some games, and it was awesome to be able to hang out with friends by the fire. Beautiful views. Can't complain about a thing. And great weather, actually. Really great weather for the majority of the time I was in Sitka. Another thing we did was fish. So these are little rock fish, and we're using a sabiki line, and it has a bunch of hooks on it. So the fish bite each of the little hooks. You just kind of drop your pole in, is what we did, because there was a bunch of fish right by the dock. And then pull up and catch a bunch of fish on one line. I think we caught like 5 or 6 maximum on one line. This is my coworker Shane. He's a fisherman in Florida. This is one of my favorite spots in Sitka. Beautiful views, and at one point I saw like a gathering of 10 eagles that were eating fish that one of the fishermen had caught, and kind of put the guts by the edge of the water, and all the eagles were gathered for a little snack. This was also unexpected and unanticipated, but I got to go to church while I was in Alaska, which I didn't think, because I thought I'd be on the boat the whole time. And it ended up that I think 5 or 6 of my coworkers went. There was, I think, 4 Sundays in a row that I was able to go to church. Like I said, I was in Sitka for a month. And what an amazing time. One of my coworkers actually ended up becoming baptized. So the guy who was talking there and baptizing is a pastor, which is something I was praying for a believing coworker, and God completely, went above anything I could hope and pray for. And he has a pastor that's a coworker on my boat. And anyways, he's discipling this guy, Shane, and he was baptized, and they've been doing Bible study, so that was awesome. It's awesome to be able to talk about faith with my coworkers. Also, we did stretching classes, so this is one thing that I do with the guests, and I was able to kind of do with my coworkers too on the sun deck of the boat, do some yoga, stretching classes. We also went kayaking. So again, this is activities that I lead the guests in. I was able to kind of go with my coworkers for a few times, so this was fun to be able to get off work and go kayaking and go paddle boarding with some of my coworkers.
In the morning you sing over me, and I receive your mercy. Your faithfulness is clear to see. It's constant every day. In the morning.
And we got to do a little Dib cruise. So Dib is our Demery inflatable boat. It's the boat that we take guests to go on little excursions, either little cruises or to go to shore. And it is wet, but it was fun to cruise around on that.
It's clear to see. It's like the sunrise, constant every day.
And then, of course, did go to a couple Sitka bars, which were okay. And then there's a totem park in Sitka, National Historic Park, which is beautiful. I went on a few different runs, sometimes alone, sometimes with my coworkers, and we would run through this park, and it's kind of amazing because you're literally running or walking. I walked in it probably almost every day too. And you just see all these beautifully carved, amazing totem poles. And again, you're on the water. You're in the Tongass National Forest, a temperate rainforest with all these, beautiful trees. I can't think of a greater place to run. Really, it was really awesome. And then I did spend a lot of time reading, journaling, praying, and this was one of my favorite spots to do that. Everywhere in Sitka really is beautiful, the mountains and the water. You cannot complain at all. With all that said, my time in Sitka was God-given. Honestly, I am so thankful for that time. God is so, so, so faithful, and He goes above and beyond, and I pray, and He delivers, and He answers. Today, this happened a while ago, but today, here's an example of God's faithfulness. I woke up and I was frustrated that the schedule, our itinerary, wasn't going as planned. And yet the weather was terrible in the morning, and it so worked out that the time that we were in our kayaks on the water was the perfect time. The sun was out and everything went smoothly. It's like, I can trust God. I can trust God, and sorry about my radio. I can trust God because He has His hands on everything. And so that time in Sitka was God ordained. I'm so thankful for the time that I had there, and I'm so thankful that I'm on the water now. I'm so thankful that God is my God and He's my Father. I hope you guys are enjoying keeping up with me. I've got more vlogs to come. I love you. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.